Let's talk about the cons of modern. Hello, beautiful people. Captain Zach Sparrow here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Now, before you dislike the video and move on with your day, I want people to know up front. No, I don't hate modern. No, I don't hate vintage. Big surprise there too, I'm sure, for a lot of you. I feel like after a couple of live streams that I've done, some certain videos on the channel that got more attention than the rest of the channel combined, I feel like a lot of people either think that this community, or me in particular, this channel in particular, just loves modern and is just a complete bull and just blind-headed rage all about modern. I wanted to create a video discussing primarily the cons of modern. There are certainly risks involved with that, and I certainly like vintage. I think that has its place as well. I am not clinically insane, no, Doug, I love your comments, man. Thanks for keeping me grounded. I sincerely mean that, as well as I've seen that comment a few times about people who are specifically clinically insane, who are just incredibly bullish on modern product. If you want to see some videos where I try to rationalize and justify my position on why I believe modern is a decent play, short, well, not so much short, more mid, long term, depends on what kind of short-term products you're talking about. Everything has its time and place, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and talk about some cons of modern. I think that it could be a very important thing to discuss when considering what should I buy, when should I buy it. When you're talking about modern product, we're talking about, in my opinion, I would think modern product, you can categorize that a lot of different ways. Any sets that are still in the standard rotation, any sets that are in the Sword and Shield era, maybe Sun and Moon, maybe X and Y. It depends where you want to draw the line at. So we'll say, I guess, anywhere from X, Y up. However, I would really be looking at more like Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield up. It depends how modern you want to get. Anyway, newer product in the last couple of years, plus or minus. Let's categorize it as that for now. What do you think the probability of that product is to perform? Short, mid, or long term? Anytime you put your money into anything on the planet, there's an opportunity cost that comes with that. Meaning, can I put that money into something else that could potentially yield me a higher percentage increase? I would probably want to put my money into something else then if I think something else could perform better. That makes perfect sense to me. So a lot of cons with modern, rightfully so, would be opportunity cost. Could I put this in a product that has historically performed pretty well? There are risks along with that as well. You would have to determine if you think that the demand would continue for that and rise over time, or the product would diminish, or whatever it is that you're investing in. However, we're talking about the cons of modern here. Let's try to keep it on subject here, Zach. Another thing that I would want to point out would be, we don't know how much modern product is going to be printed. It took me like 15 seconds to think that sentence through. I don't know why that was difficult, but here we are. We don't know. We don't know. Yes, Battle Styles was a print-to-demand set, and for those of you who might not know, we had that confirmed from several retailers and distributors. Thankfully, the internet's a wonderful place, so now we know that information. However, we don't know how much Chilling Reign is going to be printed or reprinted. We still haven't seen the successive waves to it yet as of the recording of this video. We don't have that product hitting the shelves. We don't know if there's going to be a reprint of that in 1 to 2 years from now. Those are all things that you're going to want to consider when you're picking up this product. And again, we talk about it a lot, but we really don't talk about it enough. What is your cost basis on that? If you get these boxes for $120 a pop, after you sit on it for however long, 1, 2, 3, 7, 10 years, after that period of time, and then you go to sell it on eBay or wherever, and you take out the fees, and you take out the shipping, and you pay your taxes on all of that, what are you going to be left with? That is what you have to consider when you're looking at the numbers, when you're wondering, hey, is this going to be a good purchase for the short, mid, long term? That's a con. For modern, it doesn't have a ton going for it in the short term. In my opinion, it's going to be really hard to make a lot of money on a particular modern sealed product And you can talk about the cards too, although those can jump all over the place too. However, I'm really apprehensive of buying into the modern card market specifically. I don't care if it's graded or raw or whatever the case. I'm seeing way, way, way too much product hit the market, and these pop counts are insane. 50 times more available than previous sets. That's why we don't talk about it a ton. If I see an outlier or whatever, I'll mention it on the channel. It's just sealed product is such an easy play, and you can put so much money into it. You get that mutual fund benefit. I digress. The benefits, no. Let's keep it on the cards here for a little bit more. So I'll play devil's advocate on both sides here. Do you see Chilling Reign 1 to 2 years from now increasing enough to justify you selling whatever that dollar amount ends up being? There's a lot of historical data you can look at where product didn't move for years and years and years. Literally for 5+ years before you see the product start to move. That's a huge opportunity cost. If you would have had that money in the stock market or in any other product that would have appreciated during that time, if you would have had it in some real estate or anything else, my goodness, the amount of money that you could have made on that. Here's another thing I wanted to bring up. So we talked about cost basis. Cost basis is key. That is so important. And it's not talked about enough on this channel or any channel. And even if you watch all of the Poke channels, I feel like you can't get that hammered home enough because I talked to a lot of people in my previous profession, both in person and mentally. Yeah, I'm insane. Cost basis is huge and timing is huge. Yes, I do buy some product, some modern product like Battle Styles. Yes, I've got some sealed cases that I got that I thought were fantastic pickups. I simply couldn't pass it up, but that's because my cost basis was dirt cheap and, in my opinion, rock bottom. That can be debated as well, but I didn't put everything into it. And here's a big thing. I'm not expecting Battle Styles to perform for me in the next 2 years. I'm not expecting that at all. If that's something you're relying on, be careful. Things could totally change. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. That'd be amazing if it just absolutely outperforms everything. But to play devil's advocate to the whole point of the cons of modern here really quick, I do want to point out, if you would have purchased sealed cases of Evolutions when they were $100 per box, if you would have purchased sealed cases of that, no one could have told you, hey man, expect a 900% increase on these bad boys in just a few months. What? Nobody can tell you that. That's why I have my money in Battle Styles. That's why I have some money in Chilling Reign. That's why I've got a lot of money in Evolving Skies. That's why I'm going to have money in some future sets. Again, the timing of these is really big. Now, you shouldn't try to time the market. Time in the market beats timing the market, certainly. But we can time the Pokemon market historically in the sense that we have a lot of data to go off of suggesting that nothing's guaranteed here. 1 to 2 years from now, I expect this set to rotate out. A couple years from now, I might see a reprint along the way. Prices might creep just a little bit in between now and then we might see that usual just dip after the set rotates out and it's not used in standard. People are like, there's no point in me buying this product anymore. You might see a dip on that product after as well. That is something you can see. You see it in Magic the Gathering. Again, it depends on the sets, the time of year, time of the market, everything. But do I want to sit on product that, in my opinion, might be dead for a couple of years? Or would I rather have that money parked into anything else during that time? So cost basis and timing, yes, timing the market loosely in a way, use that to your advantage. So there are cons to investing in modern. And here, at the end of the day, there's nothing guaranteeing you that this product is going to go up short, mid, or long term. Pokemon Company could fail, or it could continue doing just fine, but just no one buys those previous sets. Historically, that's never, ever happened. Might be a little bit of bias coming out there from me. A lot of people are going to miss out, and that's going to be in buying modern or not buying modern. A ton of people are going to be missing out, and it's due to fear, and a lot of people are going to miss out on a lot of money during that time, and it's due to a bunch of reasons. Personally, I see a lot of fear toward modern because, well, it's not proven. It's new. How do we know kids today's day and age are going to love this product the same way? Those are all valid arguments, and I can't point to any data saying, here are X amount of kids that play today, here are X amount of kids that like Rainbow Charizard from Burning Shadows. I can't point to those numbers. Now, do I think kids opening up product today are going to be nostalgic for Urshifu and Zacian and Zamazenta, and they're going to really like the shiny Charizard VMAX? I think they will. I really think they will. However, will they also really like Watsier stuff? They definitely could gravitate toward that. A lot of new people that hop into the hobby, they gravitate toward previous generations. They gravitate toward the Watsy era. That's totally fine. There are a lot of pros and cons to modern, a lot of pros and cons to vintage. Be careful when you're looking at these sets. Don't buy into the lies of modern's going to the moon on everything no matter what at all times. And don't buy into the lies that, hey, you know, nothing's going to guarantee modern going up. That is true. But there's nothing guaranteed except your mom. Again, there are plenty of videos on here where I've got some nice numbers that I have thrown out to show you guys why I believe in modern and its ability to perform long term. Again, nothing can be guaranteed. If you look at sports cards over the years, you would know, and if you were interested in a particularly hot player during whatever year it would have been, I can tell you when I was interested in certain players in baseball and in basketball when I was growing up, those cards aren't as popular anymore. And guess what? They're not as expensive anymore either. Now, the sports card market is way different than the Pokemon card market. You're talking about, it's really apples and oranges, but they are card markets. Just because that card is performing at X rate today does not mean it will be performing that 1 to 2 years from now, especially if we hit a slump in the market. Now, I am not for trying to time slumps like that. However, there are a ton of red flags that pop up the more and more you look into these type of items. There's so many variables. There's so many things we can talk about on this topic. There are just so many different angles you can come in at this. At the end of the day, it's up to you. What kind of risk are you comfortable taking on? And I know we've touched on it before, but in case you've missed it or you're new, or if you need to hear it again, base set black and white emerging powers, you're talking about the chase cards, the Pikachu and the Thunder cards. Like, those are the chase cards worth like $8 and like $60 raw for a set that's over 10 years old. Now the boxes, the sealed boxes are they're in the thousands of dollars because it's sealed product. So just be careful when you are investing in modern. There's a time and a place for it, which we talk about on this channel. But I wanted to bring this video coming at you from a slightly different angle. And yes, there are cons to modern too. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe and watch another video. And until next time. Why do you or do you not invest in modern? I'd be interested to find out.